Size does not matter in fights. Well, of course it does to a certain extent, but there is a little bit of grey area. And that grey area is, if you're undersized but extremely skilled, this can offset your opponent's size advantage. The reason why we're talking about this today is because in a recent video, Gordon Ryan, if you don't know, the Brazilian BJJ world champion, multiple world champion of multiple weight divisions, I think 3 weight divisions now, had a little bit of a grappling match against Hafor Bjornsson, the strongman, world record deadlift holder of 501 kilograms. So you've got the best grappler in the world versus the world's strongest man. I haven't seen the video in full, so I'm looking forward to getting into it and breaking it down.
A little bit in the past, I have no technique at all, nothing at all, but you know.
Straight away as well, we can see the size advantage. I think Gordon Ryan's like 6'1", 6'2", 220-ish pounds, 210 pounds, something like that. I know he's competed in multiple weight categories. For Bjornsson, I mean, what, 350 pounds, something like that, maybe close to 400 pounds.
I learned from you. Yeah. You're competing more, which is crazy.
Oh, yeah.
It's crazy that just taking the time and that's nuts. Not nuts.
Okay. Do you have anything specific you want to go over, or you want to just go with the flow?
I think I just want to listen to you and have you tell us what to do.
Perfect.
Yeah, you're the champ. You're the, you know everything.
Look at Gordon Ryan. He is no pushover. Look at his upper back. He's got traps for days. He's thick. He's definitely on the gear as well. No way Gordon Ryan's natural. If you've seen this guy's physique, especially when he's shredded, he's in insane shape. He's got a lot of mass on him. So he's not a weak lad. He's not all technique and no strength. He's got a lot of strength there. So, you know, you're not messing with a little frail puppy here.
Yeah. Just
Like,
it's like beautiful position.
if I'm going to get up from here, and you're going to put heavy pressure left shoulder, it's all the way to you. The second I move in here, you're going to keep me down.
So he's teaching them about leverages and how to use a whizzer and underhooks. He's showing them how to use his body weight to his advantage.
Huge difference.
Yeah.
Now, if I move to the waist, your knee's in front, you're going to put pressure on me, I get thrown.
Yeah.
My knee comes in front.
See, that's all about leverages. Thor got his knee in front and was able to then pull Gordon down because he had the forward position.
If my knee comes in front, you get a whizzer.
Yeah.
Throw me down again.
Yeah, it's a lot harder.
Feel nothing.
Yeah. Because now he's got the front position, so it's hard to throw Gordon Ryan down when he's pushing against his knee, which is posted on the floor and allows him to push back with leverage against Thor. Yeah, and then he can come in for the body lock.
In front and inside.
Yeah. The moment you're here, like,
Yeah.
I got nothing.
Now when you go to joust, you're going to put heavy shoulder pressure.
Like,
Yeah.
That's so cool. That's very cool. How much do you weigh?
I'm like 225 right now.
Yeah.
225, Gordon Ryan is 100 kilograms.
Is there a weight limit in weights?
So for ADCC, it goes by kilograms. So it's the men's division is 66, 77, 88, 99, and then over 99.
If I was to fight, I'd probably fight around 77.
Yeah, I won the 88 in 2017. 2019, I did 99. And then this last one I did 99 plus. I was the smallest guy, but I just wanted to win. I'll be the first person ever to win 3 weight divisions.
Cool, Gordon.
So.
Listen, it's kind of good being the smaller guy because you're always underestimated. You're always the underdog. I'm not particularly small. I'm 5'10". In kickboxing, all the lads are like 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2", 6'4". There's one lad who's 6'7". I feel like everyone's taller than me. I am actually one of the smaller lads in kickboxing. It's like I'm fighting in the Netherlands or something because everyone's dead tall there. But it's good because you always want to be learning against people who have got the physicality advantage over you. If you're constantly sparring and fighting or grappling against weaker people, weaker individuals, you're not going to learn. That was one of the reasons why I originally got into lifting weights, is because when I was doing Kung Fu back in the day, it's a form of Kung Fu called Lao Gar Kung Fu. It was very grappling heavy, so we would learn stuff like arm bars, chokes, mount positions, side control. We would learn all that as well as traditional stuff like the forms, like weapons, nunchucks. We learn all the traditional stuff, but we'd also spar. So it was kind of like kickbox. It was kind of like an early day MMA. The other people who were my grading, my belt, so I was purple belt and brown belt at the time when I was getting really good. All the other fellas who were purple and brown belts were fully grown fellas, and I was like 17, 18 years old, skinny, built like a plastic straw. That's why I started getting into lifting weights, because I knew they had the physicality advantage. They didn't know any better technique than me. They were just overall stronger. Now, when I grapple people who've got 40, 60 pounds on me, I can out-grapple them and I can submit them pretty easy because I've got the technique, but I've also got the strength as well. Even still, when I'm undersized, the fact that I've lifted weights, it still helps me because I've got that neural strength, that nervous system strength that helps me explode out of positions, that helps me lock in chokes or go for fast arm bars and catch people unexpectedly. The lifting and the explosiveness has helped with the grappling side of things.
Happy you're up.
Yeah. Still, it's
So is this going to be a little bit of a grapple now then? Okay, let's see how it goes down. Obviously, we're expecting Gordon Ryan to mop the floor with Thor, but let's see how it goes down. Okay, so he's got him in side control. Hopefully you can hear me over this music. So Gordon Ryan's getting his legs in between. Yeah, butterfly sweep. Yeah, kick him over. Nice.
that was impressive. I didn't expect that. Holy shit.
Easy work, man. Easy work.
What did that feel like?
You literally threw me in the air and just like on the back.
Yeah.
Like I felt like I had a lot of control just with him there. He was able to put his legs inside somehow, and I don't know the technique, but he was able to throw me literally on my back.
Yeah, so when I'm grappling with my mate who's like 230 pounds, and like when I'm 170, that's the biggest body weight discrepancy we've had between us. I can still do techniques like this on him just because I have the technique knowledge, but once again, I also still lift, so it still helps against the bigger opponent, even with such a big weight disadvantage. Obviously, there's going to come a certain point when if you're like 5'2", weighing 120 pounds, and you're going up against someone who's 250 pounds, you're probably going to struggle just because you're that undersized, and that is why both martial arts and lifting should work together synergistically, because you need physicality. Now, if you're 5'2", but jacked out of your brain and no martial arts, it's just more advantages and more cards in your corner. Let's go through that again. Let's actually see that in slow motion, what he does. Take it back a little bit. Started off in half guard, and then he transitioned into full guard, but kept the what's known as the butterfly hooks. And you can also see what he does is he pushes on Thor's hips there. So you can see Gordon Ryan's right hand pushing on Thor's hips in order to be able to get his knees underneath and get the butterfly guard. See, right there. Move this over. So you see the way Gordon's feet are underneath him. I was literally grappling with one of my mates in the gym a few weeks back, and I'd done this exact thing to him. I said, come on, get him mount or get control over me, and then just done this and flipped him off. Pretty simple. Imagine it's kind of like an explosive leg extension. Imagine doing a quad extension. So you see Gordon Ryan in this position now. Watch. So he can now pull down on his neck and push up on his hips to create that lever. So his head's going down, his hips are going up, and it basically removes all his base from him. You flip them over, you pull down and rotate slow-mo. So he pushes and then rotates him over, uses that underhook with his right hand and rolls over. Fantastic technique. Yeah, that's up to normal speed.
That was impressive.
You do like a couple more rounds? You want to just start on top and then we'll just move around?
Wait, this is like a normal.
Okay.
Where I start like this, or where I start like how I start?
I guess that's fine. You're just trying to mount him.
Okay.
So Thor's got to mount Ryan.
Try to get chest to chest, pin me.
Yeah. Okay.
Got to try and pin him. Let's see how this goes down. Okay. Ryan's trying to get the butterfly hooks. Thor's doing a good job. Keep him moving. Oh, Ryan out the back. That was nice. Okay, he's up. Oh, he's going to flip him. He's going to pull him back. Going to roll him. Yeah. Look at Thor's face. Thor's like, oh, damn. Great control by Gordon. Gonna mount him. Yeah, knee on belly. Get the mount. There you go. Thor's gassed. Yeah, he's losing. Losing power. Easy armbar there. yeah. Thor doesn't know what to do anymore. That's it. That's great to see. That's great to see. Thought he put up a good fight, but Gordon Ryan, man, what an absolute phenom. Obviously, he's super strong to be able to do that. Like, if he weighed like 170 pounds, 150 pounds, he might not be able to do that against someone like Thor, who weighs close to 400 pounds. You can just see at the end, Thor didn't know what to do. He didn't really know what techniques he could have done. He could have basically done a hip thrust to try and buck Gordon Ryan up, and then from there create a rotation and reverse the mount position. But obviously that's a little bit more of an intricate technique. But there you go. That's very interesting. Gordon Ryan smashed it. Big up Thor for giving it a good go. Let's see what they say.
We got more. Was that full effort, Thor? Was that full effort?
I mean, yeah, like what works. Yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely full effort. That's another thing when you get these big dudes who aren't really well versed at grappling or have never grappled before, is they don't know how to manage the energy system. Grappling is very, very intense. When like wrestlers come to the UFC, they have a completely different level of cardio than strikers, because 5 minutes of grappling will sap you in a completely different way than 5 minutes of striking, because you're never stopping, you're never letting up. There's almost no gaps or any pauses in wrestling exchanges. You're constantly activating some sort of muscles, whereas striking, there's a lot of relaxation in between the blitzes. So it's like bang, and then you're relaxing, bang, 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 and then you're relaxing. Your body has time to manage its energy a little bit better. I'm quite good at grappling, but if I was to go into a match with someone now, I haven't trained in months because of being sick and just being out of it. I was injured last year. I'd have a good solid 1 minute in me, I think, and then I'd just taper off very fast. But yeah, if you're ever going up against a big guy, usually just you can let them gas very fast, and then you can just overtake them, because when that size fatigues, nothing will save them. No amount of muscles will save someone from fatigue. They say fatigue will make a bitch out of anyone.
And yet again, he's so good with his movements, and I mean, obviously the best in the world. So he, like, I just had nothing to do. Just, it's nice to.
If anyone wants any advice on what martial art they should take up, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is an amazing martial art to take up. But that being said, it is not an all-in-one solution. You need some striking as well. Put it this way, if you're out in the club or you're in a street fight, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu should be there as a fail-safe. So if you get taken down or you get cracked and you fall on the floor, you need to be able to create a scramble and wrestle and get back to your feet, or choke someone out or submit them. But in a street fight, a lot of the time it is standing up. Okay, wrestling exchanges can happen, but you want to try and avoid going to the floor as much as possible, because you get your head kicked in. You don't know who's got mates, and if it turns into like a big massive all-out brawl, the last thing you want to do is go to the floor and be looking for an armbar or some sort of choke. Being able to control someone on the floor is fantastic and a skill that you should have, but a lot of the time you just need a good 1-2 or a good hook, good left hook, good right hook. That's pretty much it, with a lot of speed, technique and power, because in street fights they're very unfair, and you going to the ground does not guarantee your success. It's a skill that you should possess, but it can be a scary place being on the floor in real life situations. So that's why I've always done kickboxing with some form of grappling, or some form of striking with some form of ground discipline. You know, it was Kung Fu, which was like an all-in-one discipline. It's kind of like an early day MMA. And then I've done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu itself. I've also trained MMA specifically as a discipline. Predominantly now I do kickboxing, but I want to get back into grappling. But size does matter in fights to a certain extent. If the smaller opponent is more skilled, they have a higher probability of winning. It doesn't guarantee your success, but it definitely guarantees that you have a higher probability. Okay, there's nothing you can do if you're 5'2" or 5'5", apart from get stronger and improve your skill. You're not going to get taller, okay? And that's just a fact. You're not going to change it, so you got to live with it, accept it. I feel like an absolute short ass in kickboxing. As I said, everyone's a lot taller than me, but embrace it, because it's only going to sharpen your tools even more. It'd be interesting to see Gordon Ryan go up against someone like Eddie Hall, who's got a little bit of a different build than Thor, and once again he's another strong dude. What do you think about this? Do you train any martial art? Have you ever done Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu yourself? Have you ever had to use it in a real life situation? Comment down below. I want to hear your thoughts. If you like this type of content, give me a like and watch one of my other videos here. See you tomorrow.